Welcome back to another video, and as you can see by the title, this is an absolutely huge and massive video for me, being the fact that I've managed to complete my own challenge which I set for myself over a year ago of getting 100 plus kills with every gun apart from the Boys AT and the Panzerbuchse anti-tank rifles, and this is those two rifles I've deemed impossible for many different reasons due to their reload times, obviously having one shot, having to use the bipod like an MMG, needing to have perfectly balanced game, which is not too overpowered with some enemies on one side. It's got to last the full 45 minutes, etc, etc, etc. So the Boys AT and Panzerbuchse I've deemed impossible, but every other gun in the game of Battlefield 5, obviously the primary weapons, I've managed to get a 100 plus kill game with on Conquest. This is normal Conquest modes, tactical and strategic maps, and so yeah, this is a challenge I managed to complete it, and this video therefore will be like a mini podcast of me talking through my experience of this challenge starting from over a year ago, talking through all the different classes and the different weapons I've managed to find to be underrated, overrated, etc, etc, to give you guys a bit more insight, and so it'd be a bit fun. Maybe you want to try some new weapons after seeing some of these videos, and yeah, so the video in the background here is just going to show you a clip with every single gun in the game, and most of these clips are going to be from the 100 kill games which I've managed to get. A lot of them towards the end of this video aren't, and they're not as good, like high quality clips that I managed to get over the last year. They are literally going to be some clips I've just managed to get in the last week to quickly make this video, because I want to get this video out before I release all of the 100 kill game videos, so I can raise awareness for the 100 kill game videos that I'm going to be releasing. So yeah, this is going to be like a little podcast. Hopefully it's entertaining and you can watch as much as possible. It should be entertaining with a different clip with every gun in the game. I'll try to talk through as much as possible, and yeah, so it's just a massive achievement for me, and it's more so a video for me to just look back on myself, you know, and I put it there on the channel to just as a reminder to myself, but also something that I can do and help and show other people. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about a little bit of podcast. You can stick around, enjoy the clips, and I'll just do a general talk on this challenge. And yeah, the first thing I want to say before I get into that is you can see on the channel there's already about 50 100 kill game clips, with some with the same gun, but most of them are obviously all with different guns. If there is any gun which I have not yet released the video of for the 100 kill game, and it's a gun that you really like or you want to see on the channel, the 100 kill game of, leave a comment saying that's the gun you want to see, and I will therefore then edit that video first and put that more priority on making that video first, so you guys, whoever requests it, can watch that first rather than having to wait ages for me to edit it and upload it. But yeah, so without further ado, I'm going to go straight into just the general talk. Enjoy the clips. So plenty of headshots here with different guns.
Oh,
and
five headshots in a row.
Yeah, let's just get into it. Now, before I set out to start this challenge, there was many guns I questioned and deemed impossible to get the 100 kill games with, and that included one, the MMGs, because you have to stand completely stationary and be still when you want to use the sight and to aim in, and I thought this just makes you way too easy to kill. You can't move around the map to find and locate enemies to get kills, and you have to wait for enemies to come to where you are, and so I deemed the MMGs to be impossible. Secondly, in the scout class, all of the bolt action snipers I thought would be impossible. I'd never managed to get more than 70 to 80 kills when I started this challenge in a Conquest game with the snipers, and I thought that this would be impossible. Then when you look at the medic class, you have the Commando carbine with the 10 round almost like sniper-like gun in the medic class, which has a really bad bullet velocity and high damage drop-off, as well as there's the M28 con Tromboncino, or Tromboncino, I'm not sure how you say it, which is only a 6 round magazine, also like a sniper, with a really bad damage drop-off, only 6 rounds and a slow rate of fire. So that was another one which I thought would be impossible, and it was also one of the last guns I did actually complete. And when it came to the assault class, there was not actually many guns in the assault class I did think would be impossible. You know, some of the semi-automatic rifles did seem a bit dodgy because of their reload times, but overall, the assault guns were fairly easy. But as you see, in the result of where we're at now, all of those guns have I have managed to complete by some miracle, and it essentially just involved me practicing with every single gun for hours on end, learning the recoil patterns, finding the best specializations, the best setup in terms of what sight you want to use, and just learning everything about the gun in terms of its bullet velocity, its damage model, how best to play the gun. If you want to be aggressive, if you don't want to be aggressive, using each gun to learn where you want to be positioned on which map, as well as also learning which guns are best for which map. In terms, you want to use long range maps on open, long range guns on open and longer range maps. Whereas obviously your close range maps like Underground and Armage, you're going to want to go and do the submachine guns and shotguns, etc., where you can get more kills. But I want to start off with a massive mention for a gun that I do want to make a video on, and this will therefore be just revealing what that is going to be before the video is released, on what one of the most underrated guns in the game is, or maybe not so it must be underrated, or definitely one of the most underrated support weapons, and you will have seen me use it in a live stream in the last week or two, and that is the LS26. I know a lot of people, when I say that, just are like, you're a liar, and no, just are absolutely shocked. But the LS26, believe it or not, and the videos are there as evidence on the channel. If you go to the playlist, which is the 100 kills playlist, will be linked in the top comment of this video. The LS26 is the first gun I managed to get back-to-back 100 kill games with, and it wasn't only back-to-back, it was back-to-back-to-back 100 plus kill games with the LS26. And this was on Rotterdam. I think it was 110. Then I moved on to Devastation. I had 120, 122, 124, and I couldn't believe it. I went on to Narvik, which in the 2 or 3 years of playing and actually going for 100 kill games, I've only had 2 100 kill games, and this was one of them. The first 100 kill game I got on Narvik, the third in a row with the LS26, 132 kills on Narvik Conquest. I couldn't believe it, but the LS26 managed to do that with its 20 round magazine. You wouldn't think it'd be possible, but if you watch those videos, you'll just see how underrated it is. It's got an absolutely amazing damage model with really good damage at range. It's tap firing for single and semi-auto fire in both fully automatic fire and semi-automatic fire modes is incredible at medium to long range, and the recoil pattern is really easy to control when you have the right specializations, and if you use the AA sight, which I believe to be the best for just all round for using the gun, is the AA sight on the LS26. So that is one of the most underrated support guns I managed to find when doing this challenge, and I did just recently, which I will also make a video on, have back-to-back 100 kill games with the LS26 again on Rotterdam and Devastation, and I had 75 on the Narvik, but it ended up in a spawn trap and the game ended early, so I almost managed to do it twice back-to-back-to-back. Now, the second most underrated gun I found, or maybe it's not so underrated, but shockingly and surprisingly, in the medic class, which you will obviously know it is a Sten. That's the gun I'm going to say is the Sten. You'll know for a fact how many times new players, low-level players, will kill you and absolutely beam you with it. The Sten is an absolutely crazy gun once you get used to it and use it, and that is a gun which I've also the only other gun in Battlefield 5 I managed to do back-to-back 100 kill games with, and that was on Underground, Rotterdam, and Devastation. The videos, they're all there in the playlist for you to see, and I used the iron sight as well, which is absolutely perfect on the Sten, even if you don't use the red dot sights or with the reticle. All the other sights that you are given available, I think, is the Lati sight. So the Sten, again, great bullet velocity. Recoil pattern is very, very controllable at medium, even sometimes long range. Tap firing is perfect. Like I don't know if I even said, damage model is great, bullet velocity is great. It's just good all-round gun. The fire rate is obviously not too slow but not too fast. It helps manage recoil. The reload time is good. It's got a 32 bullet magazine. It's just all round. It's just a very, very, very good gun. And one of the key tips which you might not know or realize with the Sten is when you change the muzzle, when you change the muzzle when you're customizing the gun, the different muzzle options you're given for the Sten will affect the sight, because the different muzzles on the Sten have different things which stick up in front of the sight when you aim in, which can either make your vision better or worse. And you'll see in the videos which one I choose. Which you choose the right muzzle, you get even more better and more clean iron sight to use. So that's something you might not have picked up on, and is also a thing that contributes to making the Sten a very, very good gun. Then, one of the most underrated guns in the assault class, or as well as being the most unique gun in Battlefield 5, is the Breda PG. This gun is obviously the 4-round burst gun, the only burst gun in the game. And I think it might have been one of the only burst guns at the time in that era during World War II. But it is definitely, for sure, the only burst gun in this game. As you can see on the channel in the 100 kill games, I managed to have a 128 recently on Underground with it, with a 3x scope on it as well. I've had the 100 game originally on it on Rotterdam. I've done a 120 plus video which hasn't been released on Devastation with it. And it is also the second gun and the second only game to get a 100 plus kill game on Narvik with, also is with the Breda. Now, as you know, it's got a 20 round magazine, so obviously that's very good, and you can put it in semi-automatic fire mode as well, which if it didn't have burst fire and it was only a semi-automatic gun, it would compete to be one of the best semi-automatic guns in the game, because it's got a great damage model, great bullet velocity, a recoil pattern that's very manageable even at long range, a decent reload time, and it reloads a magazine with 20 bullets. You think of guns like popular semi-automatic rifles such as the Turner SMLE, which you can get 20 bullets with, but you have to reload 5-round stripper clips every single time, and the reload takes ages. Well, you've got the Breda here, where you sacrifice a little bit of accuracy, but you get a much quicker reload time, and you get to reload 20 bullets in one magazine. It's just really quick. So as a semi-automatic mode gun, it's incredible. But people sleep on the Breda when it comes to its 4-round burst, because when you have the right specializations, which you'll see in the video I explained, the 4-round burst can effectively turn it into a fully automatic fire gun, and it can compete with the likes of this. It can compete and can be comparable to the Sturmgewehr. And as soon as you practice with that gun for a few hours and you get down the recoil pattern, it's lethal, and the accuracy, the recoil is no problem at all, even though it does seem when you first use it to be really, really hard to control. And then finally, as you'll see as well on the channel, I did release in the Scout class a video for the best gun, sniper in the game, which obviously I believe is the Kar98 K for many different reasons. But one of the most unusual or biggest achievements I managed to get with any of the guns in terms of the 100 games on Battlefield 5 in the Conquest modes was the Arasaka. You'll know, obviously, if you've used the Arasaka, it is one of the highest damage dealing snipers in the game, and if you get a body shot from the waist or above on any enemies, you're normally going to do 75 plus damage, which means that when your teammates finish the kill off and you don't get the kill yourself, you'll get the assist count as kill, which is very, very beneficial going for the 100 kill games. And if you didn't see the 100 kill game video I managed to get with the Arasaka, I managed to do it on Underground with 114 kills, which I haven't seen any video on on YouTube anywhere online of a 100 plus kill game on normal Underground Conquest, normal tickets, with a bolt action sniper. I have seen one. I lie, I've seen one, but I'm not sure if I've seen more than 114 kills, and it must be a record, certainly for PlayStation owners, which is just I'm really happy with. But yeah, the Arasaka, again, great damage model, great bullet velocity, a great reload time, and it's got one of the most clean 3x scopes out of any of the snipers in the game, which you will obviously see if you watch the video as well. But yeah, so that completes obviously each gun, one of the most notable guns I have enjoyed and liked and been surprised by in each class while completing this challenge which I set for myself. Now, if there is anyone who is 15 minutes into this video now and is still watching, obviously there's not much more for me to really go into and say you know, all the 100 kill game videos which I am making and releasing, or have released in since Christmas, because it's only since Christmas that I've started putting commentaries on the videos, really, to explain my 100 kill games. But as you can see, every video I release beyond this point, after this video of the 100 kill games, and a lot of the ones which are before this, in all of these 100 kill game videos, if you watch them, I'm going to explain, you know, the weapon, how to use it, you know, depending on the map you're on, what's good about it, what's bad about it, you know, just how to generally do really, really good with that weapon. I'm going to talk about the map that I'm playing on for that game of Conquest, and how you want to play that map in general, no matter what gun you're using. And then I'm also, at the end of the video, is going to talk about, you know, my movement around the map, what I'm thinking in terms of where am I rotating to find the most amount of enemies, to get the most amount of kills. So there's 3 different things there. If you do tune in and watch any of the videos that I make for the 100 kill games after this video is released, as well as most of the ones before this, I am explaining those 3 things. I'm talking about the gun, the pros and the cons, and how to be the best, get the best use out of it. I'm talking about the map that I'm playing on, so you can do the best you can on that map, and where you want to move around and stay to get the most amount of kills. And then I'm also talking about like the game that I'm playing currently in that video, in terms of like what flags have the enemies got, where the enemies are, and what I'm doing to rotate, so that you can get a better situational analysis of what to do in certain situations. So there's a lot to be learned from watching the videos, which will help you on any FPS game, I hope. But yeah, so there isn't much for me more to carry and say. I know I said I'd do this as a podcast, but most people aren't going to watch the full 40 minutes of this video, and I'm just rambling on about random guns. So the best thing I can just say is just watch the 100 kill game videos if you want to get more in-depth explanation on all of the guns. This video is just here to just show, as a video, 1, to show a clip with all the guns in the game, and 2, just to say that I have completed the challenge of 100 kills with all the guns in the game, obviously bar the AT rifles, and I am going to release videos on them if they haven't already been released, so that you guys can obviously watch them, and so I can help you, hopefully help you. And but yeah, so that will complete it for this video. I hope you continue watching. If you have watched this far, please drop a like, and definitely leave a comment on, you know, what gun do you want to see a 100 kill game on, if it's not already on the channel. The playlist will be linked in the top comment down below, so be sure to go check it out, and make sure you let me know which one's your favourite, which one you're most surprised by, which one you're most shocked by, and which gun you might actually go now and try out, rather than maybe normally sticking to the most overpowered guns in the game, such as like the Sturmgewehr, the ZK, and those sorts of guns. But yeah, 100 kill games on the way, along with other different tutorials and other helpful and entertaining videos. Push for 500 subs. I'm hoping I can get it in the next 2 months, because I finish uni, and it'd just be a nice achievement, seeing as I started the channel during lockdown over a year, well, I don't know, it might be coming for 2 years ago now. But yeah, no more rambling and chatting about anything. Just stay tuned for the next videos, and we'll see you on the next one. Let's get it.
Hier.
And use it!
Must capture the objectives they control.
Oh my god, I just missed 4 bullets at a guy standing pissing still. Just absolutely.
Beware, we have lost objective Anton.
Oh, enjoy it.
Bye bye. Thank you. Good game.
Good game.
Up a grenade! Ich werf eine Handgranate! Be ready! Fucking medic!
Hier, Erste Hilfe schadet nicht.
dabei. Aber ich spiele an mit Part.
Aufpassen! Granate kommt! Durchhalten! Gleich kommt Verstärkung!
Oh.
Alert! We are losing objective Anton!
Oh yeah, of course you can shoot me through the car. It makes perfect sense. Oh yeah! Oh my fucking god.
Objective breaker is ours.
Oh my fucking god. Why?
Yeah, our soccer iron sight's pretty annoying.
I think it's quite alright.
I find it moves around a lot. Like it moves around and blocks you from seeing.
How am I missing all these freaking bullets? There we go. Sorry if I stole your kill, by the way.
Sprengladungen sind bereit. Granate für Sie.
We have secured objective Able. The battle is nearly won.
Dropping grenade.
Lead attack quickly. Crocodile at this position.
Orders to defend the objective!
Stop. Objective Dog is ours now.
Standing by, Sergeant!
First enemy kill. I advise you to turn around, soldier.
This way to victory, pal. Have a grenade.
soldier, return to the combat area immediately.
Listen, soldier, we need to get you to the airstrike.
Be ready, soldier.
Objective Charlie lost.
Every time I break, there's just more pain to burn. They'll never, never, never learn. Till the battle's won, till kingdom come. I'll never run. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty.